wait for about a couple minutes before we start officially, so just for people to come in. Let's see. No. But cannot believe that tomorrow we'll see if the Department of Justice will release the Epstein files. We'll see. All right. Let's see. Wait until probably the 5-minute mark until we get started. So, let's see over there. If you're just joining us, this is the Jeffrey Epstein files stream, the calm before the storm. I added that earlier because tomorrow is gonna be the big day. Let's see how much is gonna be released. Is it gonna be all of them entirely unredacted, or is it gonna be redacted, or is it just some gonna be released and just nothing? We'll see. Anyway, let's see. Let's look at this. You know what? Set that down for a second. We see. Let's see. Huh. Okay. Just holy stuff down the pump. She was no play low. 4 feet 10. His sock. One sock, right? What the heck? There's no low socks. Jeez. if you're just joining us, this is this is a stream. I'm gonna get in the nitty gritty of all the stuff surrounding that was already released of the Epstein files, and we're waiting, possibly tomorrow, how much is going to be truly released, because that's the deadline. That's the deadline of the Epstein files. Sure, this might be a lot of the stuff that I might show later, later on might be a little bit graphic, a little sensitive, but I could say this, that it is all related to the Epstein, all related to either Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell's the only one out of the people that have been charged with the crime. There has Larry Summers, who I would later get to on. He resigned from his job because of all the exposure of him and the emails with Jeffrey Epstein, and apparently I think that's his contact information or contact that was saved in Epstein's phone at the Epstein estate back when they went over there and investigated. And let's not forget Prince Andrew. You might know, well, part of the British royal family. It's not gotten rid of the prince status. Oh, the prince status. Okay, I just made sure it's a live chat, just in case people wanted to chat, and I was gonna see it. I don't know why it automatically says the top chat. Hopefully, there's something that I can actually do to kind of make it live chat every time I stream, but I guess I have to do it manually. Anyway, where was I? Oh, Prince Andrew. He was stripped of his royal titles because of the closeness with Jeffrey Epstein, and the autobiography of Virginia Giuffre, one of the more well-known victims of Jeffrey Epstein, went and released posthumously released a memoir by her author, basically having accusations against Prince Andrew, and I believe the king just decided, because of the publicity, didn't want anything to do with the Jeffrey Epstein case, so they kind of decided to strip of him of all his royal titles. So he's disgraced. He's just being disgraced now because of all that. So there's all this Epstein stuff. It's not just recently. It has gone on from, I believe, the late 80s or early 90s to about probably as late as in 2019. He hasn't been arrested yet, or he wasn't arrested until 2019 on charges of sex trafficking. So let's see. Just gonna wait. What is this? What's his? Oh. I see people watching this stream. Let me see, what's that say? Okay, I need to zoom into that. The bearer was convicted of a sex offense against a minor and is a convicted sex offender pursuant to 22 United States subsection. Oh, okay. Alright. There we go. Hope everybody's doing good. So I did the last stream was a tribute to Rob Reiner, which I'm gonna point out something here. One of the newer people that kind of subscribed to the channel new subscribers kind of pointed something out to me, that somebody was being really insensitive towards the Rob Reiner, towards Rob Reiner, and I'm going by a fellow, by a person. I don't want to. One of the people that joined the Discord server recently. I'm gonna bring it up here. So here's I'm just showing you proof that was just given to me. So this is the post that there was, before I get in, this is the post that was sent to me, or not sent to me, but in the chat there. It said, who the hell cares about Rob Reiner? He's a freaking idiot. Rob Reiner deserved to die. The woke idiot got it coming. This is why I do not do a tribute for Rob, because he is stupid and woke. DJ Launchpad Official, Dash Official was the name. And I know there's a couple other people that they're always like wish upon people's deaths, but and I'll just need here's a message to DJ Launchpad Official if he ever sees this video. What the heck, dude? Do you really just why do you even say something like that? There's the saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. But it looks like he did. But I was told that it was deleted. So I don't understand why that has to occur. No one deserves to die. No one. Absolutely no one. And you know what? I don't want. Honestly, you need to do some. Need to reflect on what you said, because I don't want anybody to think that way about anybody. Even not even our worst enemy, not even their worst enemy. No one deserves that. No one. DJ Launchpad, I have nothing against you, but it was just insensitive that you did. Alright. Anyway, that's enough for my PSA. Back to the subject matter. Hold on. So, I'm just going to be waiting for people to come in. Let's see. So, apparently, it was named that the Epstein, there was actually some new information that was released to the public today, actually, which I'm reviewing right now. See. Okay. Hope everybody's day was well. Other than that, let's see. Hey, Noah Arkson. South Africa. Ukraine. What is this? Oh, with the rain here. Is that Noam Chomsky? Hold on. Yeah, that is him. Bill Gates. Who was that? There's another video. There's another. I don't know who that is. Let's see. Again, hope everybody stays in the. What are you teasing? Reading? Oh. So apparently there's recently released information of like information regarding to the Jeffrey Epstein, the Epstein files. So I'm just reading that real quick because I'm just going through it individually because fenzopyridine, iodine, Long Beach. What does this say? Wanted you to know. What is this? Oh, sounds like an interesting setting. Some Fiji water in the back. There's a picture as on the. Just meeting with some scientists, probably. I don't know how they got this footage. Not footage, but mainly photos. Read what? What the fudge? Let's see. Why is Epstein doing doesn't he have like a royal dress? Not a royal dress, but I don't know what to call it. What's that? This has to be more recent. Some of these are recent photos. There's Steve Bannon in a couple of them. So, sorry for the other people that just wanted, that's kind of seemed boring. I'm just trying to look over the newer Epstein files, and then I can just show you what I have as like regards to like the lists of celebrities that are thus far that is included in that, in the in like the Black Book, the flight logs, the birthday book that was released, and some other miscellaneous stuff, and all the celebrities that were said to have been that either met with Epstein or have friended Epstein. Doesn't mean they don't know his crimes, or doesn't mean they know that they were involved in wrongdoing. So why is Epstein pictured with a police officer? Is that some guy? Is that a guy supposed to be familiar to me, or am I? There's a little some. Again, sorry for the the bland thing right here. There's more stuff on Epstein Island. There's a map actually. Alright. Let's see. Alright. Okay. So I just recently reading I was looking at looked at all the photos, and some of it was redacted, which obviously to protect the identity of if there were victims of if there was any victims of them being photographed, so, or obviously minors that haven't come forward yet. I saw one out of all the newer stuff. I found there was a recent thing with Jeffrey Epstein that had three other people that were censored, that censored their faces. Really weird. That I can say for sure. It's just a couple photos were on his plane. A handful of photos of him and other celebrities like Bill Gates and Noam Chomsky. And I don't know, there's a person that he's pictured like this. I don't know who this guy is. Maybe Google Lens can help me out here. Miroslav Lajkovic? Lajkak? Slovakian Miroslav Lajkak. Okay. Now I'm starting to believe the thought that if everything gets released, then it could probably send shockwaves throughout the world. Hey, Tikimoto. I was just kind of reading the newer stuff that came out today, the recently released information in regards to Jeffrey Epstein. Some of it maybe I just can't probably show, or I don't know if I can show it. I'm not sure, but can you do the stream at midnight instead? It works better for me. Well, I mean, probably there's a chance I might be still streaming by then, maybe, but I'll be okay. I'll be okay. It's about 9 o'clock now, so the 3 hours. Alright, but, so, okay. Alright. Here's, if people want to know, let me just set this aside. I have it on my second monitor here that I can show y'all. Just first, when you do arc raiders as in the game arc raiders, DSP, was it DSP politicking, was it one of those, I think he wanted to do wanted me to do the Jeffrey Epstein streams. So I'm kind of decided to do it. Also, I just wanted to do another one tomorrow, sometime, because there's a lot of new details would probably be revealed that day. So it'll probably be there are probably a lot of people would be interested in what's involved in that. So, but arc writers, let me see. I don't think I've. I don't think I have. I don't think I have that game. So, but yeah. So, without further ado, here's this giant thing that I kind of try to compile with my own research. So here we are. This, have they given you the flight logs? I don't work in the government. I don't work in the government, Scratch Coast. It was just fully like publicly available information. Scratch Coast. It's publicly available information. So that's why. They didn't give me the flight logs. They obviously it's public known information. You could even Google it and just I could show so what I'm showing right now here is from LibreOffice. I named it Jeffrey Epstein's Connections. This right here is this is all people that are said to have named, or at least I think were named in the Black Book, in Epstein's Black Book. And then this one is from all the list of famous people that were part on the flight logs. This one is for the birthday book, and this one is just miscellaneous stuff. But so all of this is in the Black Book. If you look up the Black Book, the Epstein Black Book, the little Black Book, which is basically the contacts of people that he had or maybe people compiled for him to have contacts of. But yet again, if any of these were in here, that doesn't mean they're guilty of any crime or wrongdoing involved with Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell, but that does not mean that they are. That doesn't mean they could possibly know something, or they were oblivious to it, or they didn't know, or they just knew him as a friend and not as a convicted sex offender. So, do you think you will send this information to the FBI? Just no. No, I think they already know the information. Actually, again, I don't work in the government. This is just publicly available information. They get the Epstein little Black Book is actually censored, actually unredacted. It originally came redacted, the Black Book, but somebody unredacted it off the Wayback Machine, and that's how they were revealed the names. And I went through it for a few days. So I'm trying to go through every single name. So yeah. And for the flight logs and the birthday book, and it's all publicly available information. And they're trying to get as much publicly available information as they can. I'm not saying this is all accurate because I was just looking through the known connections. Uh, and I was letting AI was helping me with it with my research too. Obviously, sure, I may be critical of AI, but AI might actually be in regards to like being like smart with stuff and like be an assistant, but not. I feel like it needs to be monitored or regulated. Anyway, back to my spiel about Epstein. Um, so with all these people, I could name off a couple names, but I'm not sure that it could actually re- tell people not would know the names. I don't think you guys would know the names of them. There's a couple of them obviously that you may have known in the public light. Um, a couple of them like Alec Baldwin, Chris Tucker, um, Naomi Campbell, who actually confirmed that they actually knew Epstein, have met Epstein before through their boyfriend. So it's it's pretty interesting. Nick Jagger was named in there in the Black Book. Michael Jackson was, but then according to a victim, Michael Jackson was there. He met him, but it didn't say that he committed any wrongdoing. That's fitting because Michael Jackson was in 2005. He had an accusation back in the 90s because of, you know, with minors. And then in 2005 he was charged again, kind of around the same type of cycle, but not sex trafficking. But yeah, there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff in here. There's RFK, RFK Jr. He even himself actually said he actually met Epstein in the 90s. And then Andrew Cuomo. You guys may recognize him. He was what's the word? He was a former governor of New York who tried to run for New York City, for the mayor of New York City. Let's see, who else is in here? Mandelson. Peter Mandelson. That is another person that apparently he got fired from his job because of the exposure, of the closeness of the relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. So let's see. Kevin Misher. We got. I'm gonna list off the names here. I'm not saying these are confirmed. I think people already did their own research and confirmed it. Probably even more so, or better than I did. But I was just trying to go through people. Go through people and try to. I'm gonna go through a couple of people. I'm gonna go through from up to down. It's from there. It's categorized by last name, by the surname. So these are not confirmed. These are just as I just put them there. Alejandro Agag, John Agnew, Azadine Alay, but I don't think that's accurate. I'm not sure. Rufus 10th Earl of Albemarle, Saffron Aldrich, Charlie Viscount Althorpe, Ashley Hicks, Simon Astaire, William 4th Discountister, Danny Baker, Angie Balaz, obviously Alec Baldwin. But they were Alec Baldwin was questioned about it. Baron Bamford, Anthony Baron Bamford, Doug Band, who apparently who worked with Bill Clinton in his presidency, Clive Bannister, Tim Baron Beaumont of Whitney, Tamara Beckwith, Nicholas Berggruen, Debbie Debonair von Bismarck, Conrad Black, who apparently he was apparently had a lot of crimes actually conjured to him, and he was pardoned by Trump in this first term. So David Blaine, the magician David Blaine, Tony Blair, Michael Bloomberg, Johnny Bowden, Hamish Bowles, or Bowleys, Ferdinando Brachetti Peretti, Hugo Brachetti Peretti, Richard Branson, who apparently was actually in the photo, it was in one of the recent photos with Epstein that was released, Flavio Briatore, Edgar Bronfman Jr., John Luke Brunel, which apparently is he was actually close to him. Apparently since he was in jail, he met Epstein. He met Epstein while he was in jail, and he himself was actually a sex trafficker. Yeah. But apparently he died in similar circumstances like Epstein. That's said to have been. I honestly don't believe that he actually hung himself. It doesn't match up to me. Doesn't match up. Tanya Breyer, Joan Juliet Buck, Jimmy Buffett, Bartle Bile, Ronald Burkle, Candace Bushnell, Arpad Archie Boosin. So keep in mind that Epstein apparently was in a lot of social circles. He liked to dabble with the elite. So he's kind of picky with that. He's like, oh, you need to be really wealthy. Well, I need to have wealthy connections. He had a lot of wealthy connections. Him and Ghislaine Maxwell did. Elaine de Cadenet, I think that's Jason Calcanis. I apologize for it may be a little boring. Me just listing off the names right here because it's kind of. I wish I could just say them in the same form and show the screen properly. If I could just throw this in here. Okay, I think I can just hold it like this. Again, this is not confirmed. I just kind of try to correlate everything. Nicholas VII of Caledon, Mario Calvo Platero, Alistair Campbell, Naomi Campbell, Nicholas Candy, Michelle Barbara Carrera, Michelle Carvalho, Charlene D. Carvalho Heineken, Fabrizio Serena, Giancarlo Cerruti, Vikram Chatwal, Marina Sicogna, Linka Sirach, Giuseppe Cipriani, Gustavo Cisneros, Patricia Phelps Cisneros, Elise Cleese, John Cleese, Emma Forbes, Larry Lawrence, Larry Coben, Peter Cohen, Nicholas Coleridge, Phil Collins, Susanna Constantine, Colin Cowie, I feel like it's gonna be. I'm sorry for the boring stuff here. I just had to show off here, not show off, but like to showcase the stuff that I kind of gotten together here, to compile. I think all this stuff. I read the some of the emails too. Those were recently released, and to try to jot down some names there. So, yeah. So we got Fabrizio. We got Colin Cowie, Jennifer Dabo, Amber Aldaba, Sophie Dahl, William 10th Earl of Dartmouth, Jeffrey Davies, Michael Davies, Hermione de Clermont Donner, Adam Dell. Well, these are the people that are according to like I'm going off of people that what's it called? Just going off of people that have their own Wikipedia pages. So bear in mind. It's not all the people in here. Janice Dickinson, Debbie Dickinson, Jonathan Dimbleby, Pedro Dennis, Dr. Eli Weasel, Minnie Driver, Glenn Dubin, Louise Dubin, Lois Dubin, Sarah Duchess of York, Prince Andrew of Duke of York, yeah, right there. If you wanted to see that right there, Griffin Dunn, Dunn. Those are and John Duthry, Umar Zabrilov, Bernie Ecclestone, Tracy Edwards, Johan Elias, Lady Amanda Ellingworth, Eric Ellenbogen, Ben Elliott, Gail Elliott, Edward J. Epstein, which apparently is no relation to Jeffrey Epstein, Angie Everhart, Catherine Fairweather, Patrick Fairweather, Jose Pepe Fenjul, Frederick Fekkai, Brian Ferry. Actually, let me point out some of the well-known ones to kind of speed up the process here. I don't want to be here all day to kind of listing off the individual names. David Koch, Eddie Irvine, Mark Getty, like as in Getty Images. Like as in Getty Images. Hold on a second. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me see. We got Andrew Cuomo, Kerry Kennedy, Mary Richard Kennedy, Ethel Kennedy, Joseph P. Kennedy, Ted Kennedy, Sol Kersner, Cheryl Mills, Christopher Lambert, even some people of Maxwell's family is listed in here too. Christina Oxenberg, even people of Trump's own family is in here. It's like Blaine Trump, Robert Trump, Ivanka. Yeah, it's in the Black Book. So we got Mark Epstein, which is Epstein's brother, Henry Jarecki, John Kerry, Mark Middleton, Marvin Minsky, George John Mitchell, who apparently was a senator, Ishak Perlman, Stuart Piver, I think, David Rockefeller, Henry Rozovsky, Jess Staley, which apparently he was he was named recently. He was named recently in regards to J.P. Morgan, James Kane, Leon Black, Ehud Barak. Hello, 7-7. And nice of you to drop in. I'm just listening off this little all the stuff, people that was in the black book. I was going through the entire thing, but I didn't want to waste too much time on it. Ann Stock, Linda Stone. We got Trump in here. We got Martin Trust, Les Wexner, who was actually he was close with Epstein. Mortimer Zuckerman, Bill Richardson, who was also associated with Bill Clinton. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna show you the flight logs. The people that were well known, or at least that were in the Wikipedia pages here in the flight logs. So here is the list. Here is the little, you can call it a little diagram here of all the people here. So I kind of went through the flight logs individually. It took kind of a while. Not too long, but I was trying to make sure that not all people, like, individually, I don't want to get, like, private information out there to them, so that's why I didn't kind of go through every person that was in the flight logs, every single person. So we got this. We got, obviously, Ghislaine Maxwell, Mark Epstein, Eva Anderson Dubin, who's Glenn Dubin's wife, who are close with Epstein. Christine Keneally, Kenneth Lipper, Alan Greenberg, Itzhak Perlman, Tom McMillan, John Stefanidis. There's Donald right there. He was in the flight logs with Marla Maples, Tiffany, and Eric when they were little. So when they were not little, but like when they were younger. George Mitchell, Alan Dershowitz, which is Epstein's lawyer, Henry Rozovsky, Selena Middlefart. Yeah, that's a kind of an interesting name there, but Alan, okay, so Felicia Taylor, John Glenn, I don't know if that's the astronaut John Glenn, but I'm not completely sure. Glenn Dubin, we got Nathan Meyerhold, Jimmy Kane, Lynn Forrester de Rothschild, Martin Trust, Warren Spector, Sarah Duchess, Oliver Sacks, Alberto Pinto, Lawrence Summers, which is the Larry Summers I mentioned, Rhonda Roland Shearer, that's the name that was there, I didn't know which one it was, Peter Marino, Richard Legoretta, there's Virginia Giuffre, one of the victims, Ed Tuttle, which is actually the person who was like the landowner of Mar-a-Lago, Marvin Minsky, Heather Mann, Henry Jarecki. There's Bill Clinton right there. They were trying to get him and Hillary to kind of testify before the House Oversight Committee of their relationship with Epstein, but they're kind of still working the quirks out. Kit Laybourne, Steven Pinker, what up, Dinah? Nina Zagat, Tim Zagat, Daniel Bennett, Richard Cook, all these people. I'm just kind of going over the flight logs, the people that are in John Brockman, Doug Band, Naomi Campbell, Nicole Junkerman, Laura James, John Luke Brunel, Nicholas Jarecki, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, Casey Wasserman, Dean Kamen, who apparently was actually revealed to be in the recent photos. Oh, am I? Am I that quiet? Hold on. Andres Pastrana Arango, Jerry Goldsmith. Okay, there you go. Now I can just use them with my hand. Ira Magaziner, Scott Rubin, Aileen Weber, Forrest Sawyer, Lawrence Summers. I think it just said that twice. Sandy Berger, Tatiana Covilina, and Juan Pablo Molino. So that was all the people that was said it to be in the flight logs. How I got all that together, it took I had to go through the individual flight logs, which somebody actually posted. It's like over 100 people, over 100 people now, over 100 pages of flight logs. And I kind of pointed out every one of these that has a Wikipedia page on them, or most of them have a Wikipedia page, the majority of them. I'm not going over the ones that have personal, that don't have a Wikipedia page at all. We got the birthday book that was released recently, back in a few months ago, which Trump said it was a hoax. It didn't exist. Well, it does exist. It's even compiled on. They released it. So we got. Here's the birthday book. This one is a little bit shorter, but it's more the people on here are actually, I guess, not well known, but who've said, some of them written letters to him congratulating him on the 50th birthday. We got Ron Altbach, Bill Clinton, Leon Black, Alan Dershowitz, Brian Farren, Henry Jarecki, Peter Mandelson, Luke Brunel, George J. Mitchell, Nathan Meyervold, Stuart Piver, there's Donald Trump, Henry Rozovsky, Les Wexner, Mort Zuckerman, Gerald Edelman, Martin Nowak, Murray Gell-Mann, Stephen Koslin, Lee Smolin, Ace Greenberg, Jimmy Kane, Ghislaine Maxwell, Mark Epstein, who is his brother, and then that Paula Stolovsky, that's Epstein's mother, apparently was in there as well. I'm not saying that's a wrongdoing either, but the Epstein family members, like Mark Epstein, Bill Elkis, Nick Leese, Ted Saru, Warren Eisenstein, Terry Kafka, Michael Buchholz. Now, let me move on to the miscellaneous stuff that is kind of work in progress here. I feel like it's going to be filled up to the brim with all the, I'm not going to say filled up to the brim, but added more upon with the Epstein stuff that's going to come out later tomorrow. Also, I have to announce that in my community, I have opened my viewer, but people in of my audience can actually post. We can have the viewer posts. You can make your own posts in the community tab in the community. So that I just had to announce, which I'm honestly never really has been in place, but I've never really used it until now. So go ahead if you guys want to. That is, anyway. There is the miscellaneous document from miscellaneous documents, like other documents that were
related to Epstein. Here's Bill Gates, Ron Barron, Josh Harris, Steve Bannon, Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel was kind of significant because it is said that Peter Thiel was making this. He's an owner of Palantir, who apparently it's said that they're making some sort of surveillance system, like trying to surveil people. He's also the co-founder of PayPal. If you guys didn't know, Joshua Block. There's Elon Musk. It was said he was gonna meet with Epstein. Richard Axel, Eliza New, which is Larry Summers' wife. Morgan Fairchild, Marvin Davis, Herbert Siegel. Let me get some. There you go. We got Stephen Hoffenberg, which apparently is his mentor. Larry Page, Sergey Brin, who actually, those two, I believe, founded. Let me just double check here. I don't want to get anything wrong here. I think they founded Google. Yeah, they both co-founded Google. So there's some rumors that here's a question mark by this, because it said Princess Diana. They said that it was said that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein wanted to try and have some sort of they had some sort of competition to try to win her heart, which they said that they weren't she wasn't interested in either of them. Graydon Carter, Punch Sulzberger, Sheikh Hamad bin Yassim, Brock Pierce, Kevin Rudd, Thorbjorn Jagland, Michael Wolff, who's apparently a journalist that actually met with Epstein in his later years, Deepak Chopra, Robert Kuhn, Peggy Siegel, Sultan bin Sulayem, Juliana Glover, Joichi Ito, Kenneth E. Mapp, Paul Krasner, Hardeep Puri, Kairat Kalimbetov, Turji Rod Larson, Sun Yi Previn, which actually is Woody Allen's wife. It was said there was a letter that Woody Allen actually made to Jeffrey Epstein back in 2016 about the relationship with them, I believe. And there was recent photos that Woody Allen met with Jeffrey Epstein. There's Norman Finkelstein, Gordon Getty. Yes, that as in Getty Images. Mohammed Wahid Hassan, Tom Pritzker, Stephen Sinofsky, Jennifer Jacquet, I think it's Jacket, Reed Hoffman, Bob Carey, Matthew Hiltsack, and Brad S. Karp. That is all I compiled. What up, Mick Morphling? Welcome to the stream. I know it might be a little bit more duller than, not duller, but more unusual, because there was a person that requested me to do this, do the Jeffrey Epstein. So the Jeffrey Epstein stream. I mean, I guess it would be more fitting because I'd said calm before the storm in this stream earlier, because this is the day before is said to have all the Epstein files get released to the public, which I did an actual poll on my community tab, which the viewers can actually can post stuff in the community tab in the community. So, and they can associate with. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I was just anyway, let's kind of get into. So, as you may not know or may have heard, there is recent stuff that was released by the House Oversight Committee. They released a lot and like newer photos that haven't been released yet. This is kind of like ironic. It said there's more to come, and it said that all these files, all the photos and videos and documents that they contain about 95,000 photos. 95,000 from the Jeffrey Epstein estate. His estate in Palm Beach, Florida. Yeah. That's a lot of photos. But they're going to go through them thoroughly and try to redact whatever they have to. But as I'm going to show you guys those exact photos. Or I'm going to show you, well, before I do, please be advised that these photos may be a little disturbing. I'm just gonna say that because I just wanna say that to get out of the way, because Jeffrey Epstein engaged in a lot of lewd acts, and whoever was they're trying to investigate, it's like they say it's a cover-up. So it's like this been kind of brewing for years now, but I think we're getting a magnum opus right here. Anyway, this is the by the House Oversight Committee. This so starting with this, don't hold back. Okay, if you say so. So this first photo is by apparently some sort of text message. It says, "I don't know. Try to send some. I don't know. Try to send someone else. I have a friend Scout. She sent me some girls today, but she asked $1,000 per girl. I will send you girls now. Maybe someone will be good for you. Could be good for Jay. Jay might be. That's probably a saying for Jeffrey Epstein. It says name, 18 years old, height, measurement, weight, Schengen, departure, city, Russia." And there's also passports that or not passports, like identification in here. So it's a little kind of disturbing photos here. This was, I guess, tattooed or had permanent marker on here. It says Lolita, the tip of the tongue, taking a trip of three steps down the palate to tap at 3 on the teeth. And then on the teeth. Okay, then on the teeth. It's hard to see. Sometimes it's hard to see. It's looks like it's tattooed. This, it says she was low, plain low. In the morning, standing for 4 feet 10 in sock, in one sock. And there's a book called Lolita. And then here's this. She was Lola in slacks. Mind you, there's a batch of 68 photos that were released. Where did you get this? Well, there was thanks to the House Oversight Committee that actually released these photos. You can actually look them up and you can see them for yourself. So I'm just showcasing them off to y'all, and kind of showcasing it to this. It says she was, I think it said Dolly or Bolly at school. Polly, Dolly. I think that's Polly. And then this one is a, yeah, has to be permanent marker. Or it says she was Boulders. She was Dolores on the dotted line. This is, I guess, Jeffrey Epstein's license, I guess you could say. I'm kind of surprised they actually got that. Let's see. Let me just grind it up a little bit on my end. So this is Jeffrey Epstein's, I guess, license or his identification card. Yeah, and it kind of looks like his mugshot, but older. Here's this letter that it was typed up. Let me hold on a second. It's going to be hard to read. Let me see. The bearer was convicted of a sex offense against a minor, and is a convicted sex offender pursuant to 22 United States Code Section 2128 CC JC1J, I think. That's just, I don't know what that is exactly. I think it's a letter. This one apparently is a identification card of a Russian victim. Yeah, in Russia. They just have these different identifications. I guess they have, these victims that were, there is a particular photo that, is pretty disturbing and graphic. Here's this one. This one's a U.S. one. It's a U.S. visa that is heavily redacted. Here is this one. This one is from an Italian, I guess, is a patient from Italy, Repubblica Italiana. I'm guessing that's another victim of Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not completely sure, but you know what? That's safe to assume that. It's a reasonable assumption. Here is a Czech Republic passport, or Czechia. Again, all of this is stuff heavily redacted because, you know, is saving the victims some privacy. Here is a South African national identity card. This is just, again, I'm actually, when I did the stream, I'm seeing this for the first time for myself. I'm just now, I'm just seeing all this. This is a Ukrainian passport of a victim, of a girl, of a, probably we could say a minor, to put it more appropriately. Here's another one. Here's another Ukrainian passport of a victim, or of a potential victim. Let's just making sure that I kind of gone through this. There are some. I could show you some other ones that were released previously. That was 19 photos. Here's this one. This one's a passport from Lithuania, the European country of Lithuania. That is in Europe. If you guys don't know where Lithuania is, if you look it on a map. Here is some pictures. Now we're going to go into pictures here. Here is Jeffrey Epstein, kind of chatting with, it is said to have been Noam Chomsky. It said this is Noam Chomsky. According to According to this, it is Noam Chomsky. It looks like it is probably maybe in the late 2000s, if I'm guessing, because he's doesn't have the beard or anything. So here's another picture of Noam and Jeffrey. Here's this one. Here's a picture with Bill Gates, of all people, with an unidentified woman. Well, Bill Gates is said to have been like some sort of philanthropist. It's kind of, I'm not saying they did do anything wrong, per se, but it's not really in the best light here, being released like this. So, whoever these victims are, I hope they're finally being heard, and probably the magnum opus will be tomorrow when they release it, all the Epstein files into the public. If it's either released in its entirely, or if it's redacted. It is said that what's it called? That Dan Bongino, a Trump administration official, is said to resign that same day. How ironic. He works. I think he's in the deputy CIA director, FBI director, deputy FBI director, under Kash Patel, who in himself actually has a lot of scrutiny as well. Here's Jeffrey. Here's Jeffrey Epstein with. I don't know who this guy is, or him. It says when to take a picture, like these eyes. You know, sometimes when you take a picture and it just kind of like the eyes kind of are like red or so. In this, because Jeffrey Epstein is a convicted sex offender, it looks kind of eerie. Here's a closer shot of Jeffrey Epstein at some sort of probably a dinner with other people in the background that apparently is kind of blurred not blurred the faces, but like I guess whoever was there, they're trying to save face. I guess, I'm not sure. Here is this person. I don't know who this guy is. Hold on. You know what? Google Lens could help me. This person is David Brooks. It said, apparently to this Google Gemini, it says it's David Brooks, a New York Times columnist. When I looked at this person, is this the same person? Yeah, in 2011. My God. Here's another picture of Jeffrey Epstein. I feel like Jeffrey Epstein's kind of forcing us. It looks like he's forcing a smile in this picture. I don't know why, but I feel like this is an older picture. That's an older picture. Here is this one. I'm just gonna probably do this the entire stream, just kind of like going over all the Epstein documents. Salar Kamonger, a former CEO of YouTube. Oh my gosh. The same platform that are literally broadcasting this off. A former CEO at a dinner with Jeffrey Epstein. Here's this person. I think. Let's see. Sergey Brin. Okay, that's the CEO of co-founder of Google, which owns YouTube. There's him again, but I'm just gonna search lens this with this. Sergey Brin and David Brooks. You know what? It looks like the same photo. Here's this one. This is a... For some reason, there's crossbows in this picture. Why would Jeffrey Epstein have crossbows? Like, what would he even do with these crossbows? What deviant thing would he even do? You know what? Scratch that, because I don't feel like I honestly don't want to know. Apparently, there is apparently some sort of medicine bottle, a phenazopyridine. It's take 1 tablet by daily. I guess that was somebody's medicine. I don't think that's Jeffrey Epstein's, but here's a little Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office Department of Corrections inmate request. You know, when I was actually I'm a born Floridian, so these I know Palm Beach is actually was actually, I don't know how far it was away from where I lived, but my gosh. Love of my Lilla. I wanted you to know, pulling you by the hand, looking in the pink room, Tilo made me say it, then they didn't. Paris, Dubai, I love you. It's hard to read the handwriting here. If this was Jeffrey Epstein's handwriting, or somebody else's handwriting, it's hard to understand. Anyway, here is, I guess, here's an Jeffrey Epstein at some sort of probably at other scientists. Like, you know, Jeffrey Epstein actually donated to a lot to science. So, it's kind of different angles here. I'm wondering who was in the room to be able to take these photos. That's what I'm wondering right now. I will definitely do a follow-up on this stream, because there is a lot to unfold here, I feel like. And you know what? I feel like the dominoes will... probably a domino or two will fall. Just due to the Jeffrey Epstein. Here's, I guess if that's the, I think that's the Sultan bin Sulayman. Oh gosh, this is the photo that I was talking about. Here's the photo. Out of all of them, this is just, ugh. It's just really, ooh. Jeffrey, what? You have a... Huh. Why do you have 3 women, or little girls, teen girls, I don't know, minors? One of them, it looks like they're trying to, they're going to the computer. One of them, it looks like they're, what? I don't know what that one's doing. This one is, I think, massaging his shoulders, it looks like. My gosh. out of all the 68 photos, this one has to be the most damning. At least to look at. It's just, ugh. Here's this. There's this one, Jeffrey Epstein, it looks like he's on his plane with another minor. Or another teen. I could just say minor because that's underage woman, underage girls. I don't know what he's pointing at. Out in the, is it? Are they in the air or something? They have to be if he's pointing down at something. This has to have been probably late 2000s or early 2010s. Because if you look at his mugshot, okay, here's Jeffrey Epstein with the Sultan. I guess they're making some sort of meal. This one's a little bit more tame compared to the others, but yeah. Here's this one. Just gonna make sure. Jeffrey Epstein is literally in some sort of, I think that's an Arabic, I don't know what they're called actually. Little headwear. And it's like a drape over him. It's kind of weird. Here's this one with, I think that's the same. I think it's several photos with him and the Sultan. Okay. Here's this one. I don't. Michael Steinhardt. Investor Michael Steinhardt. So, what's he doing with an investor? Oh, here's a newer photo. This one's in 2017 with Jeffrey Epstein and Steve Bannon. I guess this is a different angle than the other batch of photos that were released. So this is just, ugh. I mean, this, I guess they're talking about some sort of documentary or something. Because apparently there was supposed to be a documentary that Steve Bannon was making to kind of save face with, or like trying to paint Epstein in a new light. I think. That's what I remember. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Wonder if there's any of the photographers here are. What's this? This one. There's Epstein with another unknown individual. I don't know. Who's that? It's an unidentified man. I don't know who that is. If you are just joining us, welcome. I'm just going over the Epstein, all the Epstein files that have been released thus far before tomorrow's deadline hits, and they get released probably early in the afternoon, I would assume. This one is a little weird to me. why would Jeffrey Epstein pose with a police officer? Is he like trying to, does, is he trying to bribe him or something? I'm not sure. Why would he, I don't think it was public knowledge at that point. And it looks like was after the fact that he was a convicted sex offender. There's this one. This one apparently is with. One sec. Okay. This one's with Miroslav Lejkak, a Slovak diplomat who served as the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Slovakia, which is a European country, which actually kind of makes sense because of the passports with Ukraine, Lithuania, Russia. You must have a lot of people that know him, that know of him. Here's some pictures that kind of. Actually, let me actually analyze the pictures here. This honestly, that kind of looks like a good like view there, but it has like let's see what actually is on here. There's a little phone here. There's a computer, a little desk set up there. I don't know what this is, but there's a little. I think that's a drawing, and there's some redacted thing over here. Here is this. There's a looks like the kitchen, which is a little knife handle, and it has a little view of the sea. I mean, oh, I see where it is. That's the desk right over there. The kitchen is right here, like right in the view of it. Okay, now I'm starting to get the pieces together here. Okay, here's this. This is the bathroom. Oh, okay. So there's also some redactions here. Oh my gosh. It looks like. I'm glad they censored these. It's hard for y'all to see, but there's some censor bars. There's some redactions made. Again, if you want to look it for yourself, you can actually look it on the Oversight Committee. You type House Oversight Committee Epstein, I think you would be able to find it. Or through the articles, there's a link that they would prescribe. I don't know where this would be. This kind of looks like some sort of, probably some sort of warehouse. Is it a warehouse? All this sounds. Here's this. Here's one. An Epstein Island. Right. This is part of Epstein's Island. This little structure here. Here's this. It looks like a bed. I guess this is a bedroom, with little. I guess types of things on the walls. I guess these little two mattresses stacked on top of each other that don't have sheets on them. Is that the bathroom right there? It's hard to tell in this picture when I'm showing it to you. Here is a map of Epstein Island. There's a cabana and a bar, residential cottage, existing driveway to be paved with blue bit, stone and concrete, 70. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit so I can read this. Existing driveway to be paved with blue bit, stone, and concrete. 75-inch diameter concrete pad, 80-inch tall flagpole, existing driveway paved. Okay, erosion, debris, landscape, residential cottage, demolish existing tennis court, replaced with a swimming pool, temporary barrage landing. But okay, but I guess that's where the entryway onto Epstein Island. Here's St. James. This is part of the Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, not the British Virgin Islands. Whatever this is, I think it's just a lot of just that shelter one floor plan. I guess they were doing some type of refurbished stuff. Shelter one roof plan, shelter one roof framing plan. I guess I guess they are renovating. They were renovating stuff. One front elevation, one side elevation, like these types of things. Shelter one section, shelter two floor plan, shelter two roof plan, shelter two room framing plan, side elevations, front elevations, subsection, and here's the last one out of the newest ones. It's the roof details, post detail, beams and stuff. That's all the photos that were released today. But that's not all. We're just getting started, actually. Back like about a few weeks ago, about a month ago, there was, they went through a lot of emails. I'll just say Jeffrey Epstein actually doesn't have good. It's noted that Jeffrey Epstein actually doesn't have good spelling or grammar, as if you could tell if you've seen the emails. Like this. Here's here's a sample of them that the House Oversight Committee, or specifically the Democratic part, that has posted. This one with Ghislaine Maxwell in April 2nd, 2011. Jeffrey Epstein said, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim, redacted, spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there." That's one of them. This is one of the three. Here's the next one. This one is with journalist Michael Wolff. He says, "Victim, Mar-a-Lago, redacted. Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever. Of course he knew about the girls and he asked Ghislaine to stop." Here's this one, another one with Michael Wolff. This was in 2015, December 16th. The last one was in January 31st, 2019. The emails can go back within the month that he was caught on charges with sex trafficking, which is just, oh my gosh. Okay, let me read this one by Michael Wolff. Said, "I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or onto the house, then that gives you a possible valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in any way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked if he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is outlawed in a Trump regime." Before that, he said, I hear CNN planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you, either on air or in Scrum afterwards. If we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be? So, those are the three emails that were kind of damning to. They were released to kind of to know that their relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, they're actually closer than people realized, or sometimes it's not a shock for other people. Um, I'm gonna. There is also they also. I'm gonna go to the next part. This one of 16, 19, like 19 photos. Where's the 19 photos? This one. All right, here. This one was a week ago. There's only 19 photos to this, so this is mainly photos of the Epstein estate. So this is the bathroom. It's sorry if this looks sideways. They just posted the pictures like this. Looks like it's inside the bathroom. Kind of weird. It's kind of weird to me a little bit. Making pictures in the bathroom. There's little Q-tips. It looks like probably some sort of generator or a water heater. Okay, we got this. These are just the photos this was taken in probably inside the Epstein estate. That's a furnace. Okay, thank you for the correction. Thanks for the correction. I'm just sometimes I don't know. It's kind of hard to. I never really lived in a house with a furnace, so bear in mind. What is this? Is that a? Okay, that's hard to see. Why don't you use OBS to stream? Mamgui, that is a good point. Maybe I could do that probably for tomorrow. Probably do that. I'm just, I don't know if the algorithm's gonna act any different. You know what? I don't really. It doesn't matter as long as people view it. You know, it's not really bother. I'm just kind of, that's the past things that I don't, algorithm acts differently so at certain times and certain things. I'm not sure. It's unpredictable. Anyway, what's this? So I don't know if this is like a wood plank or like some sort of refrigerator, or it's hard. It's like an optical illusion almost. It looks like something made of like a material of like hardened wood. It looks like it's like that's outside the bathroom. That's outside. That's just weird to have this for the door. Oh. Okay. I kind of gazed through these photos, but never fully analyzed them. Okay. Here's a fenced area. Again, these are just on the sideways. There's Okay, it's just the little grass. Okay, there's an AC units I see. 2 AC units, huh? Did they cover that bath over? Um, you're talking to, I don't know. Are you talking about? Okay, I think there's. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure. This was probably when they investigated the Epstein estate when he was brought up on charges with sex trafficking. Or was it when he was actually in the process right before he became a convicted sex offender, or he had to register as a convicted sex offender? Here's the part of the roof, little gutters. Okay, here's a door. Um, hmm. Oh, there's the ceiling. It's the little panels of the ceiling. One kind of seems cracked open, which is, or am I looking at that right? It's sideways, so it's hard to kind of. Oh yeah, it is. No, it's the floor plan. The floor mats. Never mind. That's the floor tile. I think. Oh, here's another door that says no smoking. Okay. There's a downstairs, and there's a little fire alarm. Here's. Oh, okay. This gives me a little. Even though it's like supposed to be sideways, this kind of gives me like backroom vibes. It's the ceiling. Okay. Oh, here's okay, this one looks like a little utility room. Huh. There's. It looks like there's okay. There's a gat. There's some paint buckets. Um. It's another picture of the utility room. There's some baskets right in front of the door. There's a bath. Another bathroom. It seems like, even though it's kind of dark and it's hard to see from this stream. But what the? Okay, this is a. This looks like just like a little face mask, which is kind of weird. And there's the dental chair that you may have seen on the news. If you watch if you look at the investigation, I watch MS Now, and they kind of viewed a couple of the images there. The dentist chair is kind of the death masks. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Oh, there we go. This one's run right side up. Okay. It's like if a serial killer like they put their heads on like as like a mural, as like a shrine. But it's not actual human heads. They're like, I don't know. Then there's a window. It looks like there's a window, like a little opening here. I don't know if that's a shower, or if that's like some sort of, or maybe they are. Yeah, I don't know. I don't, you know. I think this was taken after the fact. This taken years ago. Here we are. This, I don't know why it's like all covered in like that. It looks like styrofoam, but that's not styrofoam. Like, sir, they're probably just trying to. I think that dental chair was probably used for massages. Or some other acts that I'm not going to say. It's just. It's just. Oh, this is just the pictures of Epstein's plastic wrap for the blood. Just another. This looks like they're trying to deconstructing something there. Or they're in the process of either building something or deconstructing. I don't think this is. Okay, here we're about to get into the really really looks like they were trying to build some flooring, or maybe some sort of unfinished project. It could have been also like to renovate the island, I guess, or the estate. Here's this thing. Here's a massage therapy system. Which is kind of weird. Oh god. Here's this one. You talk about a bath. This one looks like. I feel bad for the person who took this darn photo. It's just ugh. My gosh. Jawbreaker gag. Always observe a person who has a gag in their mouth. Never leave that person that attended the job. Yeah, here's some sort of glove. Sounds like they're trying to cover up. They were definitely trying to cover his crimes up with that glove. Here's oh, this one's really explicit. It ugh. Looks like a lot of kinky stuff. Here's, I guess this is Jeffrey Epstein holding a book of himself. Oh, that was written about himself. Here's this. I don't know where this was taken. Here's this. Looks like they were constructing something, or they were trying to take stuff down off the Epstein structure on Epstein Island. And here's a kind of a real close-up photo of Jeffrey Epstein. Ugh. Here's this. It's picture. It's said to have been, apparently according to the Gemini, it says it's the Sultan bin Sulayman. Here's a picture, another picture of Steve Bannon with him from another angle, with a redacted photos included in the photo itself. And here, that's Woody Allen right there, meeting with Epstein. I don't know where this was taken, but we'll probably be given more context to this. I feel like we will, as the time progresses on. And this one's more the damning of this. Trump condom, 450, finally. I'm huge. And it doesn't even, just the singular. It's like 5 bags of them. Maybe 6, because I see a little one right there. It's just, he says he has nothing to do with it. Then why is his face on... This has a brand of... Here is Larry Summers and Eliza New with Jeffrey Epstein on his plane. Here's Jeffrey Epstein with Richard Branson. This person apparently is Dean Kamen, is actually the same person that was on the flight, I believe, on the flight logs. Did you address DJ Launchpad yet? Yes, really early in the stream I did. Yes, I did. Oh, here's a heavily redacted photo. There's with Donald Trump and 5 blurred women. Blurred, probably minors. Most likely minors. I know, I addressed it earlier in the stream. Really early on. If you look at that back, I actually addressed it. And I kind of addressed him. So, here is Woody Allen with Jeffrey Epstein with a unknown female. That is redacted, obviously, for privacy reasons. Here's Trump with Epstein with some sort of party. Here is a picture of probably taken at the Epstein estate. This is Bill Gates. In this photo. You can barely render that. I'm sorry about this, but I could do the... This is just, this is the calm before the storm with all these people. This is a picture of Bill Gates with Prince Andrew, which this cut side here, there's a person to the side of this, and that is King Charles, actually. But that is actually a public photo that was reported with not knowing to be there's nothing related to Epstein at all. There's Steve Bannon with Noam Chomsky. Here's Bill Gates with, I think, a person of as a part of a pilot, I think. There's another picture of Epstein and Steve Bannon. There's this one's I think this was publicly available. This is Jeffrey Epstein and Alan Dershowitz. Dershowitz is his lawyer, who apparently he was appointed. He defended O.J. Simpson. He defended Harvey Weinstein. I believe he defended Mike Tyson too. Here is Woody Allen with Steve Bannon. Here's the picture. I guess this looks like some sort of restaurant, or at least that's what it looks like, with the Sultan. Here's another picture with Trump, with a girl, with an underage woman. Here is a picture with Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Bill Clinton. These two pictures, it is said that this was said that is Jimmy Buffett and his wife. The late Jimmy Buffett. Here's this one. This is Ehud Barak. According to this. And I think that's it for this section of documents. There's so let me go through now I'm going to go through some of the emails that were disclosed. There's some from Steve Bannon. There's a Kathy Rumler, who was part of the Obama administration, who worked in the Obama administration. Let's see. Robert Trivers. Yeah, Alan. Deepak Chopra. Let's see. There's quite a lot of emails. But with people that were talking to him, if they've known him for a little while, I think he either don't know about their alleged crimes, about his alleged crimes, or they just haven't disclosed it to them, or they haven't known, or they are unaware of it. Or I think that's the same thing. They know it, but they don't disclose it, because probably to save them the embarrassment and probably the public scrutiny. I'm not sure. But there's quite a lot of emails here that were disclosed, that I put in the little document in LibreOffice that I listed off. People like Bill Gates, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, . Me. So I'm not saying it's not a bolts. It's a bolts, and that's not. It's like a non-political issue. It's a, common sense issue. If they knew or engaged into, like, to Jeffrey Epstein's and Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes, they should be held accountable. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They should be held accountable. And we'll see if they will be held accountable tomorrow. Or probably the dominoes are gonna fall, or at least some of them. We'll see what gets released. Let's see. Earlier I just went over the black book. People that were not associated, but had the contact information that Epstein had, or somebody put it all together for him. Like, so for example, we got the flight logs, we got RFK Jr. Yes, that RFK Jr. The one who's running the CDC, or the one that's running the Health and Human Services. He's the Secretary of Health and Human Services. He even said that he was on Epstein's plane in the 90s. So this kind of matches up. And then obviously Trump was on the flight logs quite a few times. When he was married to Marla Maples. Before Ivana and Melania. Before those two. And it was said that Jeffrey Epstein introduced Melania to Donald. Yeah. They were that close. Back in 2002, there was an article that said he was a great guy. We have things in common. And he likes to say he likes women just like I do. Even especially on the younger side. And that was in 2002. And now he's trying to refute his own words. Like, he has a track record of lying. And I'm not even being biased. That's the truth. Anyway, Bill Clinton was on the plane. Bill Clinton, this is a little specialty thing. Bill Clinton has said that Epstein actually met Bill Clinton at the White House while he was president. There's a picture of them together. You know what? Let me look up that photo. Let me look up that photo. And currently they're trying to give they're trying to get the Clintons into trying to testify under oath before the House Oversight Committee. Excuse me. If Bill Clinton is found guilty, and there's evidence to find him guilty, and they end up having that date, which I think is today, they're supposed to testify. Or tomorrow is supposed to testify. I'm not completely sure. But I'm trying to, let me see if I can, where's that exact picture where they're holding, like shaking hands. Here's this photo here. This is them with Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein with Bill Clinton.
And this, there's a weird, in this photo, this was taken apparently a painting of